All right, folks. So I'm here to give you guys some election breakdown here. These are the results of the Nevada caucus. I'm here to break these down fairly in depth for you guys. So as you guys are all aware, on the first day of the Nevada caucus, the day that it was held, we didn't really get many results. I think at nighttime it had gone up to like 40% or something like that. Now that a few days have passed, they're up to 88%. On the first day of the Nevada caucus, it was very quickly called for Bernie Sanders, saying that he won with only 4% reporting. And, people thought, oh, maybe the lead will cut down. Because as you're seeing on screen here, this is a destruction. Okay, this is really, really bad. We're talking about this is like, Super Vegeta versus Semi Perfect Cell. This is, the San Antonio Spurs in 2014 versus the Miami Heat. That's the level. This is the Seahawks versus the Broncos in 2013 Super Bowl. That's what we're looking at here, folks. This is a destruction of great, great magnitudes. And so, with 88% reporting, Bernie Sanders has 47.1% of total CCDs. CCDs are Nevada's version of SDEs, stated delegate equivalents. They just use CCDs, which are county delegates, I think they're called, or something like that. And so it's 61-20 for him. Joe Biden has 27-23, CCDs at 21%. And then another significant piece, possibly the second most significant piece of this, is that Pete Buttigieg is currently, as it stands, at 88% reporting, missing that 13.7% threshold, okay, at 1772 CCDs. So as you guys know, if you don't get 15% in the statewide numbers, you don't qualify for any statewide delegates. So that means that he's going to get no statewide delegates. Now, Elizabeth Warren performing very, very poorly with under 10%, really, 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 really horribly. If she had any sense in her brain, she would drop out immediately, but she has not, because I don't know why her brain is not functioning properly. She has no path to the nomination, and every performance that she has is a complete dumpster fire after another dumpster fire. Also, Tom Steyer, not having much ROI on his numbers. He spent a lot, like millions of, I think even like tens of millions or 100 million or something. He spent an insane amount of money in Nevada. So only getting 4.7% is not a good ROI at all. So he didn't perform very well either. And then Klobuchar, under 4%. I mean, that's embarrassing, right? So when we go down here, we look at these county breakdown. All right, in Clark County, which is by far the biggest, I believe it's like a 90% of them live in Clark County and like Washoe County. As you can see, all these other ones are really tiny. Washoe and Clark County are the ones with the massive ones. Clark County has Vegas in it, has a total of 1257 precincts. So with 1178 of 1257 precincts reporting, Bernie Sanders leads in CCDs with 48.7%. That's 4,986 CCDs. Joe Biden has 2496 CCDs at 24.4%. Pete Buttigieg has 1206 at 11.8. So as you see there, Bernie Sanders really, really, truly demolishing here, okay, in Clark County, and that's the one with the most precincts. Now, Lincoln County, which barely has anybody in there, I mean, this is a joke. I mean, you look at the total CCDs in Clark County and look at Lincoln, there's literally nothing here. So Buttigieg won by a little bit, barely. He has one CCD lead in an area that has virtually no CCDs. Then Nye County, which very weirdly looks like a deformed penis, which also does not have very many CCDs at all, with 18 of 33 precincts reporting. Bernie comes in third with Pete Buttigieg at top. So again, winning a meaningless county. White Pine County, a small county. Bernie Sanders wins that one with 9 of 10 precincts reporting. Eureka County, Bernie Sanders dominates, while there's not many CCDs at all there. So in Eureka County, Bernie Sanders thoroughly dominating there. Okay, Elko County, currently 30 of 41 precincts are reporting, not many CCDs there. Bernie Sanders has a fat lead there of 15 percentage points, which is a lot. In Lander County, Bernie Sanders also leading there. This is the only one, I believe, where Elizabeth Warren comes in second, although there may be another one. But Bernie Sanders dominating there by 10%. He's winning by 10% in Lander County. Again, tiny, tiny county. Humboldt County, Bernie Sanders dominating with the 30-point lead in another county with barely any precincts or CCDs. Washoe County, the second biggest county, came through for Bernie. Big shout out to the folks of Washoe County and Clark County. So here you can see that's a huge margin. I mean, that's what, like 27, 28 points that he's leading by. That is a massive margin that he's leading by there. So he is in a really good position in Washoe, 451 of 558 precincts reporting. He's demolishing there. Pershing County, not many precincts there, 5 of 6, not many CCDs. Pete Buttigieg in the lead. Bernie Sanders doesn't even come in top 4. Very interesting. Wonder why that is. Churchill County, I'm guessing named after Winston Churchill. 19 of 19 precincts reporting. Bernie Sanders dominating there again. Lyon County, more CCDs than a lot of these other smaller ones. In fact, more than all these other smaller ones. Lyon County, 28 of 40 precincts reporting. He is winning by almost 10 percentage points with 28 of 40 precincts reporting. Then we got here Carson City, 24 of 26 precincts reporting. Bernie Sanders, again, dominating. Not many CCDs there, but there are more CCDs in this city, this county, which is called Carson City, than all the other small areas. So he's dominating there. Story County, 10 of 15 reporting. Bernie Sanders dominating by over 13%, 13.5%. So he's again dominating there. So what we see, Douglas County, 27 of 42. Not many CCDs there. Pete Buttigieg holds a slight lead of 3.2 percentage points. Mineral County, Tom Steyer. This is one that Tom Steyer's winning. It looks like he's going to win this most likely because 9 of 12 precincts are reporting. Tom Steyer leading by 7 points. Esmeralda County, Bernie Sanders dominates. There's no one who lives there, but however, he still managed to dominate by about 37 points. So that is the ultimate breakdown when we go by county by county, looking at the numbers specifically. So most of the numbers that are coming, this is really funny. So it looks like Pete Buttigieg doesn't have a path to viability because, as you can see here, he's at 13.7%. But it's not like there are many areas that are in favor of Pete Buttigieg that are coming in. These counties, like Nye County, for example, or Lincoln County, these counties don't have many CCDs at all. Barely anybody lives there. Virtually all of Nevada lives in Washoe County and Clark County, 90%. You can see that asinine amount, the outlandish amount of CCDs that are here. And so if Bernie maintains or expands his lead or just keeps static, he's going to continue growth. And even in a lot of these areas, Bernie's competitive. Like in this one, he's very competitive, although Lincoln County is finished. This one, Tom Steyer does the best in, and Bernie actually outpaces Buttigieg. So, and this one is a very razor-thin margin. So, I could be wrong about this, but just from a cursory analysis of this, it looks like Bernie Sanders will maintain or expand his lead, and in addition to that, it looks like Pete Buttigieg will not be able to hit the viability threshold, which is crucial because that means he doesn't get any statewide delegates, and also, it's not just about that raw delegate number, it's also about the image and the narrative that's set by receiving those delegates. If you don't receive any delegates, the fact that you didn't receive any delegates means more than those couple delegates you would have gotten. Do you see what I'm saying? It's all about narratives here, folks. All about momentum. All about the dominoes falling as these races continue, as these elections go by. And so, another thing we need to look at. Here's a crucial piece, all right? In the first vote, because as you guys remember, in caucuses, what happens? You go in, you align with your candidate. If you don't have 15% in your precinct, you got to go somewhere else. You have to go somewhere else to someone who's viable, okay? If your candidate's already viable, it's impossible to lose support. So, in the first vote, what we have is Bernie Sanders dominating with 34.3% of the vote at 30,809 votes. Joe Biden at 17.9% with 16,062 votes. Buttigieg at 13,646 votes with 15.2%. Elizabeth Warren at 11,475 at 12.8%. Steyer at 8,202 with 9.1%. Klobuchar at 8,315 votes at 9.2%. Then, in the final vote, Bernie Sanders manages to expand his lead by a lot, differing very much from what happened in Iowa. So Bernie Sanders jumps all the way from 30,809 votes all the way up to 35,512 votes, which goes from 34.3% all the way up to 40.7%. Biden goes up by about 1,100 votes. going from 17.9 to 19.7. That's about a 1.8 gain. For Buttigieg, he also sees a gain, okay? He goes from 13,646 votes to 14,948 votes. That's a jump from 15.2 up to 17.1. That's about a 1.9 gain. Elizabeth Warren goes down. She goes from 11,475 to 9,773, down to 11.2. So that's a drop off from 12.8% to 11.2 in the final vote count. Okay. Steyer also takes a hard hit. He goes from 8202 at 9.1% down to 3493 at 4%. That's a heavy drop off. A lot of votes having to realign. Klobuchar also going down fairly significantly, going down from 8315 votes down to 5882 votes in the final count. That's a drop off from 9.2% all the way down to 6.7%, which is a 2.5% drop off. Very crucial. So this is a big difference from Iowa because while Bernie only gained about 2,000 votes, Pete Buttigieg in Iowa saw a massive jump in the second round. That didn't happen here. And so from my assumptions based on reading these numbers and just trying to figure out what's going on here, to me, this is what I think happened, all right? So it looks like Buttigieg and Biden basically took all of the Klobuchar votes. As you can see, the difference between the Klobuchar votes, somewhere around 2.5K, 2.4K is how many votes she lost. And so it looks like they took those. They both combined for a rise of around 2.3K or 2.4K in terms of Biden and Buttigieg combined going from first to final. And so what I think happened is that I think Warren, a lot of her voters probably went to Bernie. And then what I think my conclusion here is that it seems very likely that Tom Steyer's first round vote, a lot of those people who realigned went over to Bernie Sanders because he dropped off. And that's almost 5,000 votes. Okay, it's about 4.7K, give or take. All right, so about 4.7K or 4.8K, somewhere around there. And so what it looks like is a lot of those people went to Bernie Sanders. That's the only explanation, literally the only explanation. We know Klobuchar voters are not going to go to Bernie. That doesn't make sense. And so I think Warren and Steyer voters went to Bernie Sanders, and I think that's what gave him a big boost. And so instead of Iowa, in which Bernie stays static, he only gained 1,000 or 2,000 votes from the first to second round, but then Buttigieg took a massive jump. In this one, Bernie took a massive jump in this final vote in the second round, and then when you look at the total CCD count, Bernie Sanders fucking demolishing. It is a destruction. He's got 47.1% of the CCDs with 6,120. Biden has 2,723 CCDs, only 21%. Buttigieg, 1,772 at 13.7%. Warren, 1,243, 9.6. Steyer, only at 4.7%. Klobuchar at 3.9, that's below 4%. And so what you see here is this is an absolute destruction. Bernie Sanders at 47.1, whereas Biden's only at 21 points. All right? So that's a 26.1 deficit is what you're looking at here. I had no idea when looking at the poll numbers and making my predictions for this race. I had no idea. I could not have in my wildest, most ambitious, and lovely dreams of all time expected a 26.1% deficit, folks. If you would have told me before this election that Bernie Sanders would win by 26.1% of the vote, I would tell you that pigs were going to fly out of your ass. I am serious. I thought in best case scenario, Bernie wins by a couple points because I saw what happened in Iowa with all the moderates coalescing, although that may have mostly been Yang supporters, unfortunately, going to Pete Buttigieg. And so I thought, man, it's not looking good for Bernie. I don't know. But this is a demolishment, it's a destruction. And so what's going to happen with the delegates? So Pete Buttigieg does not look viable. And when we take a look here at the counties once again, there's not really anywhere Pete Buttigieg is going to gain from, especially in terms of, is he going to be able to find anywhere to overtake the numbers that he has left? No, there's no chance whatsoever. So I could be wrong. I'm totally going to admit that up front. I could be wrong. My cursory analysis says that he's not going to make it. There just doesn't seem to be any straightforward numbers that support that. So it looks like he's not going to make viability. According to delegate math I've seen, he's probably going to get 3 congressional-based delegates because there's statewide delegates based on the total CCDs you get, and then there's congressional district-based delegates, which means if you hit 15% in a specific congressional delegate, you get a number of delegates. So he's looked at getting 3 I believe Bernie's going to get 24, and then Biden's going to get like 12 or something like that, or 16 or something, somewhere around there. And so that is the full conclusion of this with 88% of the vote in. It does not look like much of these numbers are going to change. In fact, I would be shocked if Bernie's numbers didn't go up. I think they're actually going to keep going up from here. So really great news. Amazing job in Nevada. Hopefully that was good, comprehensive explanation of all the numbers here. And Bernie Sanders really took it to the rest of the Democrats in this race.